Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's that?
Cookies.
The Girl Scouts?
It's the most wonderful time of the year, Girl Scout cookies. So I brought some. They're called Caramel Delights now. Remember they were called, what were they called before?
Samoas.
Samoas.
Why did we do a rebrand of the name? That's funny, but it's the same cookie. Thank God.
Yeah. Oh, it's the same exact thing. They just changed the name.
I like to stick these in the freezer and test the investment that is the 4 veneers I have up top every day. I try when I do that because it's hard as goddamn rock. I try to eat it from the side, but I just love them frozen. Do you freeze them or do you?
I think I just prefer them just room temp, gooey, warm, or not warm, but just regular. Because they do get hard.
Well, it's like caramel.
Thin Mints though, always.
Uh-huh.
Those are always freezer treats.
How many boxes did you get?
3.
What'd you get?
No, I got 3 Thin Mint boxes.
Oh, okay. Welcome to Disrespectfully
with Katie Maloney
and Dana Cathan.
Unapologetically,
We're here to do what we want to do.
spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women.
Disrespectfully. I got these. I got the peanut butter sandwiches, and they have these new ones called Toastiers, and they're like a French toast style cookie with icing on the bottom of it.
Did you sample it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I had 3 this morning. That was my breakfast.
Okay, great. I did something kooky, and sometimes they get me with the bakery section, and I'm such a chocolate person, but I got heart sugar cookies. They're pink and white, and I like the ones with the frosting, but I couldn't decide, and something told me sugar cookies, so I ate 3 of those for breakfast this morning as well.
But not the ones with frosting?
No, I didn't, but I do love the frosting ones too.
Those are so good.
Why do people put their nose up at those? Those are one of the best cookies out there.
They do?
Yeah.
I didn't think that. I thought we were all on the same page that they're the best cookies.
Oh, I've seen a lot of frosted sugar cookie slander, and it's the ones that are dense. They're you know what I mean? They break apart.
They got a nice thick frosting, and they're denser cookie. Do you remember Granny B's cookies? The big pink cookie?
No.
That you could get it at gas stations or little markets or whatever. I remember we had this part in our school lunch with a separate line where you could get junk food basically. Oh, I love me a Granny B's cookie for lunch.
Well, what grade? Was it older? Because I feel like
it was middle school, 7th, 8th grade. Well, I went to my middle school 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
And then I went to high school. But I mean, I never gave up on those. I don't know if you can get them anymore though.
Wait, what are they called?
Granny B's.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
You might recognize the packaging. The packaging was very nostalgic.
I typed Grabby B. It did not understand.
And it had a thick pink frosting on it, but it was also kind of soft.
Granny B.
It was a proper frosting, not an icing.
Images. You can get them online. Was it this?
Yeah. Wait. Basically, yeah.
I've never seen
the
this
packet.
in my
That's
life.
not the same packaging, but I think that's basically what they are. They were yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I've never seen this in my life.
This big.
Yeah, I don't recall that one, but these are what I think we're both talking about for the frosting.
Oh yeah, those are so hard.
We had actually, now that I think about it, we had it in middle school and high school. And in middle school, I was really partial to the Minute Maid lemonade, pink lemonade frozen treat. Did you have that?
Oh no, I just remember it in a bottle, from a vending machine.
I'm talking about ice cream.
No, I didn't. Oh yeah, I do remember those.
We had those little ice creams, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then people, in the same way that people talk hospital food, school lunches, my mom was not a PTA mom. I was buying lunch, and the sandwich line, it was the grossest, creepiest thing, but I really liked it. So I would just always get the sandwich.
Oh.
On their weird, creepy sourdough bun.
I know in high school, we had from Taco Maker, we had burritos, and we also had personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. That was fun.
If you are from Federal Way, Washington, you know Pizza Pizzazz. I don't know if it's still there. The phone number there is 253-661-6161. I'll never forget it. And they had these psychotic breadsticks that were so oily and gooey. It was kind of like if a Olive Garden breadstick made sweet, sweet love with a typical pizza breadstick. And they had the most dank ranch that I have ever had in my life. It was perfect pizza ranch. It was on the thinner side and kind of tart, exactly what I want for a pizza ranch. And Pizza Pizzazz got a contract with the high school, and then you could get Pizza Pizzazz. And so I would just eat a big bundle of greasy sticks.
Wow.
For lunch. I really loved it.
I'm into that.
It was the
school
best.
lunches were, I don't know what they're like now, but back in the day, they were They're good.
Well, I think now they're fighting for children and trying to not have those things that we were eating. I mean, I lived in vending machines and whatnot, and and I was starting my morning with a nice Pop-Tart. So it was just like absolutely wild. But I think that now they're trying to be more health conscious, which is probably good.
Yeah.
Because I was disgusting.
Yeah, but kids are, they're fine. I've turned out okay.
Yeah, I mean, I glow at night, and can't sleep, but I'm doing great. I bounce off the walls.
I have a lot of anxiety, but I doubt any of that's contributed to the hundreds of Lunchables I ate and vending machines, like meals. And, we'll group in 7-Eleven with that.
We're fine. We try. It's whatever. Can I tell you about such a painful, sad memory that is related to this?
Sure.
Really quickly, and then we'll kick it back up a notch.
Okay.
So I don't know how much I've talked about it on here, but I was bullied really bad in 8th grade to the point that police had to be involved. And this once, just thinking of those sandwiches just reminded me of this. Because it was only 5 minutes between classes, right? So you never really had enough time to go to the bathroom and get to your next class. So I had to pee really bad. I remember I went in and got my sandwich, my little carton of milk, and I put it on a table away from other people because I didn't have people to sit with. And I went to go to the bathroom, which now looking back was very stupid. And I came back and this little "see you next Tuesday" poured my milk container in my sandwich. So I picked it up and it was just all milk came out and everyone laughed at me. And then I just went and cried in the bathroom. I just didn't want to cry in front of them. Kids are so mean. Girls, especially at that age, are so hostile and violent.
8th grade was a nightmare. I didn't I had a few friends and we would have lunch in a hallway off of the cafeteria by the health room class because the popular kids, they were very cliquey and very just mean to anyone else that wasn't part of their crew. And it was weird because you'd have almost not secret friendships, but you had little side friendships with some of them, some classes with them that maybe they would
give you a treaty.
Yeah, they give
social
you
studies
the time of day. There was some of them in that group that liked me, but when it came down to the really hardcore ones, no.
Mm-mm.
It was,
and they were never that girl ever. So
No.
we're looking back, and I'm you absolute trash can. And I saw a TikTok recently. This poor sweet girl. She was in. I think she was in high school though, and she was like, "Oh, I just found out that everyone found my TikTok, and they're all sending them around and making fun of me, and blah blah blah." And she was so beautiful. And I wrote on it, I was like, they're jealous of you, 100%. However, I grew up with a mom that was always they're jealous of you. No, I wasn't a likable kid. Let's start there. But then also, they used to call me Hermione because I was really small and I had big poofy hair that I didn't know how to style. And just I was an ugly, ugly kid.
no.
And so, I was so ugly. And so I look back on that now and I'm Mom, love you, R.I.P. But none of them were jealous of me. They just didn't like me, which is fine. So anyway, that was rather painful and I haven't been sleeping in general. And you just got me that medicine that you take, which I love.
My favorite Amazon sleep aids.
Very sweet of you.
Yeah.
So I need to take that. But that's one of the, it's now to take care of these pesky memories. That just popped into my head for no particular reason the other day. And I was that was so
Haunting.
sad. Haunting.
Do you know what I realized about myself today when I was getting ready to leave?
Tell me.
I'm a sock shoe person.
What does that mean?
I'm meaning I put a sock on, then I put the shoe on, and then I go the other foot and I don't do sock, shoe.
Wild. That's almost as wild as how you draw your star.
I don't know. I was oh my God. I remember seeing things about whether or not you're sock, normal, or if you're a crazy person and do sock, shoe. And as I was getting, I was oh my God, I don't know why. I just want to be done with one side and then move to the next side.
Having a bare naked foot while I have an entire sock and shoe on my other foot is no, that's so wrong. It's wrong.
I'm so flustered and stuff when I'm trying to leave. Sometimes I put a shoe on and then forget it. I need to do something, walk around with a bare foot and a shoe for 5 minutes and then come back and finish.
I think that for you, some of the most flustered you ever get in your entire day is when you need to leave.
Yeah.
When something's going on and you have to get out the door, it's did you reschedule your fridge person?
Well, I'm waiting for them to call back my landlord. Yeah.
What was it that we were recording and what were they trying to drop off? Something and you missed that window a few months ago? What was that? Do you remember?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Well, me and Katie were recording Harry Jowsey's podcast yesterday. And by the time this episode comes out, maybe it'll be out. I don't know. She was supposed to be getting a fridge repair guy and he left. He gave her a 5-hour window.
Okay. Whenever do they give you a 5-hour window and they show up within the first 20 minutes? Never. Only when you're banking on them coming in a regular, time frame at 4:45, 15 minutes before the end of the window. But no, they showed up first 20 minutes of the window and I wasn't home. I was Yeah. So
Murphy's Law.
Yeah. Never do that. Just don't assume that they're not going to come promptly. Anyway.
I love nice things, but that doesn't mean I can always afford it until I discovered Quince. Quince is my go-to for luxury essentials at affordable prices.
Quince offers a range of high-quality items at prices within reach, like 100% Mongolian cashmere sweaters for $50, washable silk tops and dresses, organic cotton sweaters, and 14-karat gold jewelry.
How many? 14? Love to see it. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
You might be wondering, how do they do this?
I was wondering that.
By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings onto us.
And something we both love is that Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. So you can feel good about it. You can feel good about looking hot.
Plus, they have the range of products that they have, like the sweaters, the jewelry, the accessories, staples for your closet. Like, just if you were looking for a really great like black button-down shirt, boom, Quince.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was just about to say, is that it's great for staples, but like the things that you want that are key to your wardrobe that are maybe nicer or more expensive, like this is a great place for that.
100%. Give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/disrespectfully for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
That's QUINCE.com/disrespectfully to get free shipping and 365-day returns.
Quince.com/disrespectfully. It has been so cold in LA, which I love. And I've been loving cocooning myself in Bombas socks, slippers, and underwear.
I know, but our cold is 60 degrees, but I'm freezing.
It's freezing.
It is a different, 60 here feels different than other places.
I need to stay bundled.
Bombas socks are insanely soft, and the secret is in their fabrics. We're talking about that good stuff like merino wool, which just feels so cozy. And if you're into running, which not I, but I'm glad that you are, Bombas has athletic socks built for the cold weather and the snow.
I took my Bombas socks to Nashville, of course, because it was snowing, and they kept me so warm. Bombas thought of every detail. It's like they just, get it. They know little things really do make a difference. So they removed all the itchy tags, fixed that annoying toe seam, and perfected the fit of everything. No more socks that slip down or underwear that rides up.
I can't handle that. It has to stay in place or I come unglued.
Yes.
My personal favorite, though, is the slippers. If you've got freezing cold feet like mine, you'll love the warm, fluffy Sherpa lining and the marshmallow-like cushioning.
But it doesn't matter which Bombas you get because every Bombas item gives back. For every item you purchase, Bombas will donate another item to someone facing homelessness. Really, they've donated over 150 million items thanks to purchases like yours.
And if for some reason you're not a fan of what you get, don't worry. They have a 100% happiness guarantee that covers free exchanges and returns too.
Never thought I'd be somebody that really values the importance of good socks.
I mean, when I used to be a slob kebab, I would wear mismatching socks. One would be inside out. They were bad. But now as an adult, when I care.
Oh no, I get very excited for a fresh pair of socks. They just, especially ones that aren't gonna roll down or the toe seam. I really truly hate a toe seam.
Same. Who thought of that? It was a terrible
Devil
idea.
in disguise.
And the fact that it's just risk-free. Like, come on.
I know. And you give back.
It's the best.
Like, you could just feel really great walking around in your socks. So try Bombas now. Head over to bombas.com/disrespectfully and use code disrespectfully for 20% off your first purchase.
That's BOMBAS.com/disrespectfully. Code disrespectfully at checkout.
I don't know about you, but I like keeping my money where I can see it.
Yeah, you do.
I know.
Right in your closet. No,
Unfortunately, traditional big wireless carriers also seem to like keeping my money too. After years of overpaying for wireless, I finally got fed up from crazy high wireless bills, bogus fees, and free perks that actually cost more in the long run, and I switched to Mint Mobile.
The pricing difference is astounding between other carriers. Like, I thought this was a gimmick at first, but it's not because it's so affordable, but you have the same quality and everything else that pretty much any other carrier has, but it's just much more affordable.
And you use your phone all the time, so you need to save on that.
I don't. I'm never on my phone. Just kidding. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. They love to just get you where it hurts.
Always. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data or whatever you want to call it, and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts.
Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month.
If you like your money, Mint Mobile is for you. Shop plans at mintmobile.com/disrespectfully.
That's mintmobile.com/disrespectfully.
Disclaimer, upfront payment of $45 for 3-month, 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available.
Tax and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
Do you know what's wild? So we did that game night last night at Bailey's. Bailey, our good buddy Bailey, who's the founder of Quickies. She lives on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
She's been drinking tap water for the whole time she's lived in her place. But right now specifically, she's been out of town since the fires. She didn't know. And I was like, hey, can I have some water? Like, do you have, where's the Brita or whatever? And she's like, oh, just tap. And I was like, Bailey, they're specifically saying don't drink out of tap water on the west side.
Oh, on the west side, yeah. I'm like, it's not for all of Los Angeles.
I don't think it's all of Los Angeles, and it's more Malibu, Palisades area, but she's right on the border of Malibu. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was crazy.
Also,
but
tap water is crazy in general in LA. Like, we don't have, like, we notoriously, you don't drink the tap water.
Well, I will say for the first 2 years I lived here, I just tap watered it up. And then someone was like, do you know how much fluoride is in that? You should probably not be drinking that. So again, my glowing, it's not great, but especially not right now. I sent her a Brita. I was like, I got home and I literally sent her a Brita. I was like, please stop drinking the tap water, you weirdo.
Yeah, no, I growing up too, because in Park City, our water had a lot of minerals in it because it was a mining town. So like we're talking like metals and like those things like that. So no one drank tap water, well, unless you had a filter on it, but no one had filter who did that. So I was always a bottled water girly.
So I will say the exact opposite. The freshest, if you live in Washington, you know, the first thing I do when I go home to visit Brittany and the girls is I pour myself a big glass of sink water and I drink it. It is in the middle of the night, no problem. I don't have to go downstairs. I just go to the sink in the bathroom, get more water. It is the crispest, freshest, most delicious. You don't even want the fridge. It's the best water. So I came from that and just assumed and didn't Google anything, as I, don't until it's too late. And then was just like thinking, oh, all water is great. No, you
weren't thinking like, this tastes like chemicals.
No, I just went about my business.
This tastes like a pool.
Because I also think I maybe had a Brita, and formerly I used to be a slop kebab. I'm definitely very, very neat and tidy now, as you know. But I would like have a Brita and just empty it and then just let it sit in the fridge cooling its heels with no water in it for an amount of time. So I was just like, might as well get the sink.
Cooling its heels. That's amazing. Yeah, no, I feel weird whenever I'm like pouring water out of a sink and then drinking. It goes against all my basic principles from growing up and everything. Yeah. But Caitlin, my friend that lives in Nashville, she has a filtration system on her entire house. So you could drink out of the toilet if you want to. But I mean, like truly everything is like set up for that. So going to the sink in the middle of the night or early in the morning and just in the bathroom in the room, just being able to pour it was like quite a luxury.
It's so luxe. It's rich. Speaking of rich, something terrible is happening. So obviously we know this, and I guess it doesn't need to be a surprise, but my plastic surgeon will be joining us in March for an episode of Disrespectfully. He is amazing, and he knows all we always talk about celebrity plastic surgery trends and what's going on, and he will give us the actual tea. And he did my, gorgeous nose. It's my favorite purchase in my whole life. So since I haven't been sleeping, I know that if you don't sleep, you're basically you're poisoning yourself. It's like the worst thing you can do. And it's like, I would love to sleep, but I can't. And I've really been noticing it in my under eyes, but I will not put filler in my face. It's just not going to happen. But I saw someone who was looking a little baggy under the eyes, baggy eyes McGee, just like me. And she got PRP. Have you ever had that? What are your thoughts on it?
I'm familiar with PRP. I know like what it's about and like how it works, but they're saying that doing the stem cell injections is better than PRP and more longer lasting.
What's the diff? Where do we get the stem cells from? Because the PRP comes from you. Do you source it
from
yourself?
Stem cells, typically they're from donated human stem cells, they're like legit, they're not synthetic. So they really help regenerate like the cells in your face, like for complete, like your face will glow, any like wrinkles, like a natural like filler, just from like it's like the fountain of youth.
Okay, well,
We talked about this. Because you had seen something on TikTok as well. I think we saw the same thing.
then I'm going to need to relook into it because I'm starting to look like Lurch or Cousin Ed or whatever his name is from Addams Family. Like every day, I'm just like, this is not good. It's like sinking in and dark.
The PRP I think is very like effective. I know a lot of people have done it. But it's like, it's painful. It's like a process.
Well, I do 1 unit of Botox under each eye. And yeah, that one's spicy. That one hurts. I hate that when they're like, look up and they just go under there. But beauty is pain. So I am just going to figure something out and do something. But I'm like, this is so unfair. I want to sleep, but can't.
Well, are you still taking like 3-hour naps during the day?
Not as much. I've been when I'm so fatigued because my sleep schedule is so fucked up, I feel like I am dying at 3 p.m. and I need to lay down. I've really been trying to push through.
I feel that way only because like I'll sleep like an okay amount for most of the time. Sometimes I go through crazy bouts, but I'll wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and for no reason. I don't need to get up that early. I'm not like going to work that, but I'll just like naturally wake up at that time. So yeah, by 3 p.m. I'm dying. I'm knocking on death's door, just fighting for life.
I don't remember ever feeling rested in this human experience I've had though. So like, I don't know. All these people are like, oh, I'm so refreshed. I feel like I'm groggy every day of my life. And when I get up early, especially if I'm like on vacation and you want to have coffee with people or whatever, I can be a morning person. But in general, like for my job that I used to have to get up at 4 a.m. and sometimes 3 a.m. for, like I will just never be someone that likes to be out of bed or speaking to people before 9.
Oh, no, nothing happens that early. I mean, besides when we do this podcast, I'm not socializing or having conversations with anyone before like noon.
I know. I'm like, we're podcasting. I'm like, I have to get up at 8. I'm exhausted. My sister's been up since 5 with 2 children. I'm just like, I mean, I don't have kids. I don't have to go that hard.
Well, I wanted to tell you, because speaking of sleeping, you know how like beds are both really important to us, but also just the right kind of sheets, the right kind of pillows, comforter, the whole thing. Like I'm very into like my bed game. And I think I have a very comfortable bed. I just did something that changed the game completely. So I saw it was a Instagram ad, I think, for this giant comforter that like is so fluffy and like is a cloud. It's called like something cloud or heaven cloud. I don't know what it's called. And I ordered it in like, I don't know, end of October, beginning of November, and it just wasn't coming. And I was like, maybe it's just not coming. Like this is insane. And yesterday it showed up, and I was like, oh shit! Like this is so great. Oh my God, this thing is.
So you slept with it last night?
Oh yeah, I slept under it, and it's like it was like a mountain of just cloud.
So it's big from north to south, not east to west. Like is it like just king size?
Yeah,
so is it regular king size?
It basically just like fits just like right on top of your bed. But like when you see the pictures of people just like laying on top of it and they're just like cocooned in this like just fluffy like a cloud, and sleeping under it, I felt like, because it's not heavy is not the word, but it almost feels like a little bit of a weighted situation. Oh my God.
Does it
stupid?
Did it get too hot, or was it? Do you feel like it's temperature controlled?
I mean, if you sleep with the AC on and everything like that, so like if you have, or I sleep with the fan on, so it'll feel like coldness outside. Yeah. I felt great. It was wonderful last night.
Take a picture when you get home. I want to see it. My insert right now sounds like this.
Yeah,
there's miles on that bitch. It is over. I've been needing to get a new one, and like I sleep at 65 in my place, and something is going on with my hands and my feet. I have never been colder. I cannot. It's why. Did you notice? I opened the legging drawer today because I'm so cold. And I have been sleeping with socks on like an absolute serial killer because I can't get warm. Like I like it at 65, and I've just noticed it feels like you just said, like the weight, it feels so thin. And I've been I almost put clothes on, and I just like, but I can't. It's a total, not texture, but it's just like a quirk of my personality. Why? Like I have to do sock, shoe. Things have to feel right. And if I'm wearing like a shirt and pants and I turn because I move like a rotisserie chicken because of how unsettled I am, and the clothes don't move with me, it's like I'm fighting for my life. So maybe I'll get that, but I don't like that it's going to show up in fucking spring of 2026.
I don't know. Maybe they were like on a pre-order, or it was like back ordered, or I don't know. I don't know where the fuck it came from. It wasn't cheap. I'll say that much, but I didn't even care. I was like, I need this. And last night just confirmed that this purchase was fucking it.
Okay, so either you can make this recommendation or someone listening can make this recommendation. I have been on the search for a good pillow for 2 years. I have tried so many different ones. I'm not happy with my pillows. I want a dense pillow, but that's like, comfortable, like kind of like a good memory foam pillow. And I cannot find one. So if anyone has a pillow, I'll pay any amount. It's like part of the reason I can't sleep.
I think I have that for you. But again, it was one that like took a minute to show up.
Well, I've been waiting for 34 years. What's another couple months?
Yeah, no,
That's fine.
I'll find the link or whatever and I'll send it to you because it is like that. It's not like this like big fluffy down thing. It's more of like a compact pillow, and it really does do the job.
Well, and those down ones, they just also go by the end of the night. So
yeah, well, they're like nice and fluffy until you lay on it, and you're like, what is up?
Yeah, to be able to sleep. What is that like?
I know. I want to talk about bed. I want to go get back in my bed right now.
I know. Well, we're recording later than we normally do. I had a teeth cleaning this morning.
Oh shit!
So I feel so nice and refreshed. She said things look great.
I'm like good, happy for the report.
Yeah,
good tooth report. Should we do daddy list?
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. You start today, babe.
Okay, I have two people on my one person and a thing.
Okay.
First on daddy list is Ben and Jerry's ice cream because I don't know if anyone's aware, but they are going 10 toes down for our rights.
Yeah, they are.
And, they always have. They've always been fighting for racial equality, for gender equality, for like just human rights in general. But like they're really coming out, really showing up.
Well,
come out swinging.
Go look at their TikTok if you don't know what.
Yeah,
Katie's
look at their
referring
TikTok. They can do a better job there than I can to explain it. But I'm a big ice cream gal, and so if I'm gonna be, feeding my craving, I'm gonna go to Ben and Jerry's.
Have you ever seen plain vanilla Ben and Jerry's?
No,
because there are all these crazy flavors. And this gal posted a TikTok and was like, "I have R-Fed. I want to support Ben and Jerry's. Where's the vanilla?" And she was at some part of the country, and someone in Chicago did a video in response. It was like, "Hey, I just found it in Chicago." So it does exist, by the way. And I'm not typically a vanilla person, but my favorite Ben and Jerry's is their cookie dough.
Oh,
it's in vanilla. It's so good.
Or the one that they have the half baked, where it's half cookie dough, half brownie bits.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Cherry Garcia is like a classic, wonderful, and remember fish food with the caramel filled chocolate fishes?
My drug dealing ex-boyfriend was obsessed with fish food. How could I fucking forget it? So I personally don't like it because it reminds me of him, but yeah.
Yeah. And whatever the one, it's like the late night show one where it's like the waffle cones. Oh.
Also, again, another vanilla base, but one of their best, Americone Dream.
Americone Dream, that's what it whose is that?
Colbert is on it.
Colbert, that's right, yeah. The man knows his ice cream. So yeah, Ben and Jerry's. The other person on my daddy list is Tim McGraw.
What?
The other night I was thinking about the song I Like It, I Love It popped into my head, and I was like, oh my God, like I forgot, because I'm not really like a country music fan person.
Yeah, you put it on your story and I side-eyed you.
But Tim McGraw, it's like the Tim McGraws and like the Garth Brooks of them all, like that kind of country, like I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. But Tim McGraw's still with Faith Hill, and they're such a hot couple. He's also like a really great actor. Like he's hot. I don't know.
He was in The Blind Side.
Yeah,
wasn't that Tim McGraw?
He's also in Four Christmases.
Him
and Jon Favreau played Vince Vaughn's brother.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay, I got through that scene. I still haven't finished it, and I've never seen it.
What?
So I just this year watched part of it. But oh my God, that's okay. I'll have to go back and look now
maybe because I'm like been watching a lot of like westerny themed things like Landman. I'm just like really craving a man in a Stetson and a bolo tie. I looked at Nick. I was like, "How do you feel about?"
Let's get you some bolo ties, babe.
Yeah, bolo ties. He's like, "I'm for him." I'm like, "Great."
Oh, I will say, not so much a Stetson and like that music, but I love a bolo tie.
Yeah.
A bolo tie in a man covered in tattoos that looks like he's emotionally unavailable, I salivate.
Yeah, I see. But any like newer country, like I don't know, when I was leaving Nashville, there was like a country man on my country music artist, and I had no idea. And I messaged like Bailey and Caitlin and Lex because I was just with him. I was like, "Oh yeah, do you know this guy?" Like Caitlin's like, "Yeah, he's like my favorite. He's like one of the most whatever." He did a cover of Tracy Chapman's "Fast Car." He's got a beautiful voice, but I was like, I don't know. See, but I just give some of the classics. I want a little something like that. Remember them? You don't know any of these songs?
No, and that's where we're different. You know me. I just can't. I can't. I hate it. If I could, I would. I shorn't.
There's some beautiful love songs on there. Anyway, so I've listened to a lot of Tim McGraw this past, I don't know, couple of days.
Okay. Well, it's a free country
Anyway.
for now.
Anyway, who's on your daddy list?
I'm going to add one, but I have two. So that makes three if you're following along with math at home. Okay, so I'm going to put Raleigh on my daddy list specifically for the way the reason I'm saying this is because you brought up Four Christmases. The way that we are when we're playing games, we were on the same team. She's like, yes, baby, this is so easy. And like flips the next card. We just look at each other and lock in. And we were like, bam, 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 bam. And I just love playing games with her. Against her, not so much because we're both competitive and she's listening right now. So, hey girl, love you. And we get in fights over Scrabble and shit. So it's like really ugly. But when we're aligned and on the same team, unstoppable. So
they're like, who am I allowed to have sex with if you die or something? John Grisham.
Yeah, he's like, I gave you this last Thursday when you got home from the bar. Alibi. Yes, baby.
Baby.
That is me and her.
I love it.
And when we picked teams randomly, and I was like, when I saw Raleigh was team 2, I was like, team 2, and we got it. So Raleigh, I don't think this might be your first time on my daddy list, but you're always on my daddy list. Honora, I saw it. One of my favorite movies of the last few years, and Mickey Madison, she is so beautiful, but her character I identified with a lot in a lot of ways. Just the way that she is just a sassafras and a half and just doesn't fuck around. And did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it was so unexpected, and I thought it was the most beautiful poetic ending that I feel like some people didn't like, but I totally got it. And
do you think they ended up together?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I liked them a lot. Was Igor?
Yeah, I do too.
Igor, just like the way he looked at her, I was like, oh.
No, I knew he was one of the good ones, but yeah, everything in that.
It was like a stressful kind of movie though. And Sean Baker, like, love him. If you've seen any of his other movies, he's really great. He's the director.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like it could have been a tiny bit shorter. It was I was like, this is kind of going on a long time. And like, I don't know, at some point, just in hindsight, I was like, I feel like they could have tightened up the whole, like, we're searching for him. There was a lot of, I don't know.
I didn't get that read, but I just
feel like movies are too long in general.
Well, but you know how I'm passionate about an hour and 90-minute movie. All movies should be 90 minutes. My Scary Movie, when it comes out, you bet your sweet ass 90 minutes on the minute.
Yeah.
Like, it was stressful in the sense it kind of gave uncut gems. Like that moment that, like, there's so much tension. But and I'm sorry, fast forward if spoiler alerts, but when they're like grabbing her, the rage in my body, which we have discussed before, nothing makes me go from 0 to 100 like a man touching me or invading my space, especially when I'm telling. And the way that she was acting is pretty much how that would look for me as well. So loved it. 10 out of 10. And she's so hot. And her little like dances, specifically when she's like at his house in like the kind of schoolgirl outfit, and she like flips and her leg open is like pat the puss. I loved it. And then so maybe I should have put this first because this is totally different, but there's a gal named Carolyn on TikTok and her handle is Epicurious Expeditions. So it's kind of a mouthful there, but she is incredible. She is making recipes for people with disabilities and showing that. So she's like sitting, there's no chopping involved. The instructions are kind of simplified. So it's really just her inclusivity. And it makes me feel guilty and bad that never even occurred to me of, someone who lives alone and it might be challenging for them to cook. I'm so sensitive. I fucking cried. I just can't. I like weep. It just makes.
How does she do it? Like, what is I?
So she like sits in a chair and she just does different recipes with like crock pots and things that are easy to just mix in a bowl. And she has a bunch of different recipes. But I was like, what an incredible series. And so if you need that or someone who needs it, please go follow her. I followed her immediately and I've been reposting all of them. But there's so many things on TikTok that just make me so fucking sad and feel guilty as a person. I'm like, oh, I could literally cry right now thinking about it. Anyway, she's wonderful. And I just, in a world right now that is so hostile and there's so many scary things going on, that is such a lovely palate cleanser. So I'd like to claim more of that energy. I'd like to see more stuff like that and be a participant in being that for other people.
I'm for it.
Yeah. So that's mine.
Okay. Solid.
That's the daddy list.
Valentine's Day is this weekend.
It is this weekend.
Are you going to do anything for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, me and Raleigh usually do something. We saw Monica last night and she was saying she wants to do something. I will say, I am this way in general. I do not like when people feminize any type of word. So like, I don't like CEO. I don't like Galentine's Day. If and when I'm a CEO, which is probably going to happen, do not call me a CEO. I don't like Galentine's Day. It's just like, you guys, it's just, Valentine's Day is just a day of celebrating love in general. And I just feel like everyone can participate in that. Like,
of course. No, I mean, I think I love the sentiment behind the whole like Galentine's Day thing. It's just like when you just show love to like your girlfriends and that whole thing, you know, and but that can,
But let's just call it Valentine's Day.
I know that can go without that, but I think, you know, of course, anytime there's like some type of Hallmark holiday, they want to capitalize on, you know, something buzzy having to do with it and everything like that. So like, I feel like such a chooch saying Galentine's, but I just love it. I love love. And I do love a Hallmark holiday. So Valentine's Day is heavy up there. I think that was sort of indoctrinated into us like in middle school or in elementary school when we'd celebrate and have to like get Valentine's for the whole class.
I mean, my last good Valentine's Day was in 99. For sure.
Did you like, I just remember you would have the class celebration. Everyone would have like their little bag or basket that you would, you know, we'd all drop our little Valentine's Day in there. I remember how serious I took picking out my Valentine's cards.
Absolutely.
Oh my, I was like, this is going to represent me as a person, as a brand, like an individual. Like I really need this to like reflect what I want to put out into the world.
I was going to say that's actually so true of who you are today. And I'm the same way because your wrapping paper choices and how serious you take that and like how seriously I take picking cards out for people that are like the correct cards. And like the baskets were always something that was like the project for the week that you would make your baskets. And I liked also inclusivity that you got a class list, everyone got one, but you would obviously for your little like crush, you would do like
you picked the piece of candy,
the best one, maybe a little heart on your note, whatever. And it was just like the best time. It was, do you think kids still, I guess that goes back to our Scholastic book fair question, but do you think kids are still doing that?
I hope so. I think so. Why would they just stop? It was inclusive. It was cute. It was fun. Everyone loved it.
So I don't know, Leia, you have a kid. What's going on with that?
She's got a baby.
I don't know your mom do like.
I'm gonna ask Kristen if her kids do.
Well, Lenny's too young. She's 4, so she's not. I feel like that was like a first grade on thing, not like kindergarten.
So yeah, I think she would know. She's like such like a school mom. She's always like there. She goes, I have to go volunteer in the garden at the school. Like she's always doing like cute little stuff at her kid's school. But I'll ask her. She'll definitely have an answer for that. But I think I always would gravitate towards ones that were funny, but also there were some ones that were like kind of romantic, you know, for the crushes.
You picked those Looney Tunes that looked real flirty.
Hard eyes.
Or real hard eyes.
Oh yeah, but I loved it. And then like you would like open them up, and I just or the defeat when someone had the same as you.
You roll up there so cocky with your bag.
You're like, I have 4 Princess Jasmine Valentine's Day in this bag. Am I like, Jesus? Don't you people have like any individuality, any kind of uniqueness, and you know?
And also and you could tell like the boys never put that kind of effort into it. It was just like a stupid X-Men one. And they would just like scribble on it. But
they'd
like
write their name.
Yeah, the girls took it so seriously and did such a good job.
That's where Valentine's Day comes from.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you know what? We can do this holiday better just with each other.
100%. I'm planning on doing a sweet special treat for a secret someone, so I can't.
Ooh.
Well, you can beep it so it sounds exciting, but I saw this thing on TikTok that's a DIY thing that's very sweet, and I just want to try it.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that.
Are you like hard lunching right now?
Maybe.
It's fine. Like if companies want to, you know, everyone comes out with the Valentine's Day cookies, treats, Valentine's cards, like go off. When restaurants all of a sudden want to be like, hi, yes, you can make a reservation. We're going to pack in 20 extra tables. So you're going to be sitting on top of people and it's going to be $200 a piece. That makes me feel yuck because it's like, you know, people want to go like have a nice like date, have dinner, have a something. And you're like, I see you, but like, I'm going to make this not so pleasant.
Well, so I liken that to New Year's. Why this New Year's was like the best New Year's of my life when we just were at Floors and like doing something chill in mariachi. It's so caviar chicken nuggets. It's so expensive and ridiculous. And even if you don't have a budget, for me, I do like Valentine's Day. I don't have a problem with it, whether I'm single or whether I'm in a relationship. But if it's a relationship thing, I would honestly rather stay at home and like watch a movie and maybe drink champagne with like a food you guys like, or like Courtney and Aaron, I think for literally like 10 years have gotten, is it a take and bake from Papa Murphy's? They get a heart-shaped pizza. So that's like what they do. So for me, I just don't like that element of it, of like restaurants, they throw up some pink balloons and all of a sudden everything's $500. And it's just like, well, and it's so cliche. I would just rather do something different and more intimate.
True. I mean, Nick and I are going out to dinner.
Wow.
And there is like a prefix set menu price, the whole thing. But it's a place I've always really wanted to go. And it's like, it's kind of like
Where are
a
you going?
date.
Don't bleep it. Where are you going?
It's called, yeah, it's like up on a hill and it has like you go at like sunset and it's like really beautiful.
Oh, cute. I've never heard of that.
I know. I've never been and I've always wanted to go. So we just figured, okay, it's our first Valentine's Day together. He was away on like his birthday and he was also away on my birthday. So we haven't got to like celebrate besides like Christmas, which was awesome. But like, we're like, let's just fucking do it for our first Valentine's Day. And then maybe go to like a tiki bar or something after. Yeah, I don't like it when places know that they can get a cash grab from people that are like just looking for a place to go eat or desperate to get a reservation somewhere because, you know, like everyone's out. It's like the one night that the whole world is out having dinner. But I get so down with like a night in with, you know, some expensive wine or champagne and like something delicious to eat. Well, that's for any kind of date. I just love that. I love like a couch date.
Also, if you do want to get out in the world, I'm not saying I have right off the top a fantastic example of this, but I just like mixing up. But I also understand, especially if it's your first Valentine's Day, like, and some people really enjoy that. So I'm not yucking anyone's yum.
Of course. Yeah, no, I just see both sides of it. Absolutely. But I feel like, did you ever see the movie Valentine's Day?
No, and actually I was going to ask you about it because
it's seen any movie.
Isn't that I know me like biggest movie buff of all time. Isn't that in the same family as the movie you were in? It's Complicated.
He's just not into you?
Yes,
with a huge like cast and it follows different stories and some of them overlap and some of them don't. Yeah.
Did you like it?
And it's also New Year's Eve was another one. I loved it. I think it's cute. I mean, it's got who's in it? Like Ginnifer Gardner.
I think Patrick Dempsey's in it.
Yes, because he plays a guy that's having an affair on his wife. So it's covering like all kinds of like Valentine's Day tropes and things like that, obviously. But then there's, you know, there's some people that are like really winning and doing great and then other people not so much. But I thought it was really sweet.
Okay. Maybe I'll need to.
Ashton Kutcher, I think, is in it. He like owns like a florist company. Julia Roberts is in it. And she's coming home. Like she's plays like some type of military person. And she's sitting next to someone who is she sitting next to? Some handsome man. And they're kind of like hitting it off. And she's like, yeah, I'm on my way to see someone special. And you find out she's going home to see her son. Really cute. I don't know. Watch it.
I saw a TikTok recently about a couple that met sitting next to each other on a plane. And that's how they started dating. It's like, that is so meant to be. And I was like, why don't you fuck yourself?
My brother Joey with his very first girlfriend in high school, they met on a plane.
Well, I usually sit next to people that sneeze a lot. That's like my lot in life. So I'm like happy for them, but whatever.
I think everyone has that thought internally. They're like, what if I meet my soulmate on this plane? And then again, no, the top person never sits next to me.
Well, you don't like this, but as I said before, it's only engage if they're a player. But I have met so many people on airplanes. I call them plane friends. It's a thing. Like I get a good parking spot. I always meet people on planes. And I'm still in contact with people I met on planes like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I remember one time me and this guy stood up and we were just like buddies. He was like a dad age and we were talking and back when I had a Snapchat and we like took a Snapchat together and someone was sitting behind us. And when we stood up, he was like, did you guys know each other before this flight? And I was like, no, do you know? So when you're shark diving, particularly scientists and
Wait,
it's related. Okay. It's related. So particularly marine biologists.
I thought you just had a stroke or something.
Nope. This is, you know how my brain works. So they're called players, right? So certain, especially with great whites, like you can tell if they don't want to engage, but then they're the ones that are just more aggressive and they'll like come up to you. So I call them players on airplanes. Okay. So you can tell when they sit down. And honestly, speaking of love stories, you can tell someone wants to engage you. And bolo ties. We're really full circle here. So Bob, the 84-year-old retired veterinarian. So it was my first time going abroad when I was 26 and I had spread my mom's ashes on that trip. So I spread my mom's ashes. The next day I go to Amsterdam where I'm flying out of. I walk into a bathroom and written on the wall is what's written on her tombstone, her memorial in the ocean. It's the last Beatles lyric of the last song ever written. And it's, in the end, the love you take equals the love you make. And maybe I'm inverting that. But so I was like really emotional. And I walk into this random cafe because we had 2 hours to kill before our flight. Big letters written on the wall is that quote. You cannot tell me that was not my mom saying like, thank you for bringing me here.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
I just got like chills.
No, it was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. I started bawling. So I'm on this plane and I'm like teary eyed and I was still a mess at this time. And Bob in his bolo tie comes up and he kind of smacks his hand on the top of the thing and he puts his hand on his hip and he goes, well, I guess we're seatmates. And I was like, I guess we are. That player, we sat down. So we ended up having this chat. It was his first trip abroad since his wife died of like 50 years. And they used to go on these trips with this group of old biddies every year and they do different things. So it was his first trip like back with his group and he wasn't sure he was ever going to travel again. He looked great for his age and was like killing it. And on the plane, he was wearing these, oh my God, I'm gonna like cry thinking about this. He was wearing these old, Walkman CD players. He was wearing Walkman headphones with tape around the left side one.
Just like the one like wire almost thing.
Yeah, because the foam had ripped.
Oh.
And on the flight, I remember he had this journal and he was taking note of the temperature and the altitude of like where we were during the flight. And we were talking and they'd given him snacks and he had a layover back to Spokane when we landed in Seattle. So he kept putting his snacks in his bag. And I was like, you can take mine? He was like, no, I'll be okay. So like when he went to the bathroom, I put my like food in his bag because he was just so sweet and whatever. And so we talked for hours about his wife and about my mom. And when we landed, I was like, Bob, you've changed my life forever. Like he was such a like incredible person. And he gave me this puzzle from a newspaper there that he couldn't solve. And old people, like the letters where it has your name and your address, you put at the top left of a letter.
Mm-hmm.
He put that there and like gave me his email and he was like, I'd love to stay in touch or whatever. So it was Cyber Monday that day when I got home and it was my first time abroad. So I obviously was not paying attention to not going to sleep and whatever. And so I fell asleep at 1 p.m., woke up at 2 a.m. So I know this is a long story. It's coming to a close.
You're gonna land the plane.
We're trying to land the plane. So I like got up at 2 a.m. and made myself like a Thanksgiving dinner because I had missed Thanksgiving for that trip. And I was just like so depressed. It was Cyber Monday. And so I bought him a pair of headphones. Yeah, of good headphones. And I sent it to him and whatever. And maybe I gave him my email address and I never heard anything weeks later, but I was like, that's fine. I hope I get it. And 3 weeks later, he emailed me and he was like, Dana, I was just telling my crew that I go to McDonald's every Sunday morning with about you. And I've been listening. I love the headphones. I've been listening to Elvis Christmas album and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's my whole story about Bob. But so you never know who you're going to meet in the world, even if it isn't a romantic love, which kind of comes back to Valentine's Day. There's a lot of love in the world. And he completely enriched my life. And I think I was meant to meet him on that plane.
Do you still talk to him?
We did for years until I moved to California. And now we just don't know if he's still with it. We lost touch. But
oh, no.
My first friends in San Diego was an old couple I met on a plane before I moved there, the Trufas in San Diego. And I used to go to their house. I brought Brittany once when they were in town. They would make me dinner and were really old and Italian. I didn't know anyone.
Cute.
So I would just like go to their house and get shit-faced with them. They loved to drink. This episode of Disrespectfully is brought to you by Graza.
Well, I've been super into both cooking, but mostly baking recently. Obviously, you've had so many cookies.
Mm-hmm.
And Graza is my olive oil of choice. It's top-notch. Extra virgin olive oil at an affordable price, which is really important because olive oil can cost crazy.
Olive oil is as much as your rent sometimes. So it's wild out there.
Yes.
Katie brought in some muffins the other day for the office and they were gone before we even started recording. And I'm not going to say who ate them all. It was me. I did it.
Graza is always fresh, never blended, and made from one kind of olive from one place. It's an olive from Jaén, Spain, where over half the world's olive oil is produced.
Graza has not one, but 2 olive oils that come in a super fun squeeze bottle for ridiculously easy sizzling, drizzling, and everything in between. Also, it really has changed my life because real chefs like use a squeezy bottle. And when you're trying to use your finger to use a manual big mouthed one, it just does not work.
Yeah.
Also, the squeeze bottle is literally the most aesthetically pleasing thing you'll ever see. I do leave mine out on the counter because it makes the kitchen look cuter and it's like someone cooks here.
No, it's actually real cute. I love it. Sizzle, their everyday cooking oil, can handle the heat with a smoke point of 410 degrees Fahrenheit and is great for baking, sauteing, and well, basically anything you cook. They also have Drizzle, a super punchy, flavorful finishing oil that can be used to whip up salad dressing, dip a baguette into, or even drizzle over ice cream, which I still need to try.
I drizzled some over ice cream the other night, and I'm telling you personally, it actually made my ice cream taste better.
Really?
It was really unique and sexy.
Ooh.
Honestly, I didn't really understand how important a good olive oil was because I just went to the look at the bottom shelf at the cheapest. And let me tell you, was to cooking or baking until I started using Graza and actually tasted the difference.
And as you all know, Dana and I are both trying to eat a little better wherever we can. And olive oil is good for your heart and brain health.
Sure is.
So win-win.
I eat it and I come in the next day smarter. You will get 10% off your first order of any olive oil on their site. but we wholeheartedly recommend the Graza Starter Kit.
You'll receive 2 squeezy bottles of olive oil, sizzle for cooking, and drizzle for finishing with an extra kick of flavor.
Plus, they'll include 2 refill cans. If you run out of olive oil, there's no need to buy a new bottle. Graza makes it easy to be eco-friendly with their refill cans that are perfectly portioned for your sizzle and drizzle squeeze bottles. You can also find their bottles and refill cans on the shelves at Whole Foods or a Target near you. Both the Squeezy Duo and the refill cans seal in freshness and block out light to maximize flavor and quality.
So head to graza.co and use code DISRESPECTFULLY to get 10% off your first order and get to cooking your next chef quality meal.
I don't know about you, but I've been on a mission to find skincare product that can effectively combat aging, which I am currently doing, and wrinkles, which I currently have, to help restore the appearance of youth in my skin.
Same. I've tried 10 to 15 products over the years and nothing has worked. I also haven't felt like I can trust the quality of the products out there. That wasn't until I found Purity Woods.
Yeah, Purity Woods' mission is to provide people with the cleanest, yet most effective healthy aging and longevity products available. All of their products are USD certified organic, non-GMO, free of anything artificial, which is like everything is artificial these days, free of toxic preservatives and synthetic additives like pesticides, chemical fertilizers, and dyes, parabens, and of course, it's cruelty-free. It's never been tested on animals, and you know I cry when I see an upset animal, so.
That matters. Purity Woods products leverage the wonders of a revolutionary ingredient. You have any idea what that is?
Does it have something to do with maple leaves?
It's a maple leaf extract. Maple leaves contain anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and hydrating properties, which can help soothe irritated or inflamed skin while also plumping, brightening, and nourishing it.
You just do a little bit, just a little tap on the cheek, and you're like, oh, so plump. Their age-defying dream cream, it's really a game changer. It will make you look and feel like you've jumped back in time, which I'm constantly trying to do. It's a powerful formula, contains revolutionary maple leaf extracts, plus over 25 unique and potent ingredients that help eliminate the fine lines, the wrinkles, the age spots, and the uneven skin tone.
It was formulated by skincare chemists at the top of their field to create a product that supports collagen and elastin production without irritation, drying of the skin, or hormone disruption.
Which, again, like everything has ingredients and components in it that can interrupt your hormones. Purity Woods is Leaping Bunny certified, meaning there is no animal testing at any stage of the product development, so I don't just cry the product off. It's great.
Purity Woods' best-selling product, the age-defying Dream Cream, has been flying off the shelves for a reason. This formulation includes that red maple leaf extract we spoke about earlier, along with collagen-boosting ingredients like organic mango seed butter and organic Indian gooseberry, which, if you don't know, is the most antioxidant-rich fruit on earth.
If you're ready to detox your skincare routine of those hormone-disrupting synthetic chemicals that plague 99% of the skincare industry, but you don't want to compromise on the results or spend an arm and a leg, I highly recommend you try Purity Woods Age-Defying Dream Cream. And if you don't agree that it's the best skincare you've ever had, your purchase, it's protected by a 60-day happiness guarantee.
With every order, Purity Woods makes a donation to One Tree Planted, an incredible nonprofit that plants trees in need areas such as forests affected by wildfire. Not only are you doing a fantastic thing for your skin and your health, but you're also helping plant a tree where it's desperately needed.
Honestly, I have never seen a skincare product of this quality at this reasonable of a price point. And thankfully, the good people at Purity Woods have a special coupon code specifically for our listeners. So you can try it for yourself for 27% off today. Just go to puritywoods.com/DRF or enter DRF at checkout.
That's PURITYWOODS.com/DRF or enter DRF at checkout.
When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and brilliant marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business making the selling for the shoppers and the buying simple.
For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify.
Home of the #1 checkout on the planet.
And the not so secret with Shopify Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%.
Meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going.
So if you're into growing your business, and who wouldn't be, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. I basically just sounded like Dr. Seuss, and it was awesome.
The secret's out / is not a secret at all. Businesses that want to grow with Shopify.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Aloe and Allbirds uses.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/disrespectfully, all lowercase.
Go to shopify.com/disrespectfully to upgrade your selling today.
Shopify.com/disrespectfully.
Anyway, so that's that whole story.
I've like, I love like a random meet cute, even if it's just a platonic type.
Yeah.
I think it just catches you by surprise and you're like, wow, that person is really special. And I'm happy that I met them.
Really quickly, because I don't think we've ever talked about this on the pod. If you don't know, Katie's at the very beginning of He's Just Not That Into You in the movie. She's one of the friends in the bar consoling. Please tell us about that day filming.
Big Hollywood actress over here.
How that ended up happening.
So I had just started my like background work career. So you get with like an agency, whatever that gets you that type of work. It's whatever. So this is the first job I worked on, and I had only lived in LA maybe a year or something like that. So, the thing with background work is that because there's always usually like a consistent bunch of people that do it, you often like see the same people or you make friends, which I didn't become aware of obviously until I started doing more of it, but definitely had no idea about that like on this day on set. And it's always like really long and they have you just kind of sitting in a certain area where they hold you until they need you and it's hours. So, but there was one of the ADs there that was just like really nice and friendly and I had no one to talk to besides this person. So every time they come around, he'd always be like, you doing okay? You doing all right? And I'm like, I'm doing fine. I don't know if he like felt bad for me, but yeah, I just didn't really talk to anyone. I didn't really know anyone. So when it came down to them grabbing people for that scene, it was like at some like bar lounge or something. They start, they take people on time and they start placing them, people at a table in this corner, to kind of fill the space. Obviously that's how it works. Little Hollywood inside. But then he was like, all right, he's like, come with me. I'll show you where you're going to be. So I'm following him and we're passing all the other people that are like in this bar thing. And he walks me right up to this bar and there's just the cameras like right there. I was like, oh, he's like, all right. So it was me and another girl he brought. It's like, your two friends are going to come in. One of them's crying, just had guy break her heart and you're just trying to hype her up and make her feel, that like men are shit. And she's, she deserves better, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I got this. So yeah, that's exactly how it happened. And I tried to like sneak in some words, some lines, because if they kept it, then you get a pay bump. I still got a bump because I was featured, which was pretty sick.
What'd you get paid?
Well, normally the standard rate I think would be, not like next to nothing. Like we're talking like $100 maybe, but I think I got 250 or something.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because I guess it's a difference between, there's a lot of background extras, but people who do, back in the day at least, commercial work, like acting commercials, made so much money.
They still, those pay
really well.
Especially if you get one that has a solid run time. That's what's up. But yeah, it was really fun. And then, I did more background work and met people and had my, do you know who I met doing background work? We were working on numbers. Jenna Willis.
Okay. During the fires, me and Raleigh and Floor and Ariana, we were like we had just been watching the news and we were like, let's watch something that hypes it. And we watched Garden State, which I love that movie. And so many people shit on it. The
Jenna's
best
in it.
Goddamn album. And right when we start watching it, Ariana goes, do you know Jenna's in this? And I was like, excuse me? And I never noticed before she's in it.
Yeah.
So what movie did you guys, or thing did you
It was this show, Numbers, that I worked on a bunch actually. So it was fun, like when you kind of get to know like the crew and like it feels familiar and everything like that. And that day, it was 2008. And there's Jenna. And I'm sure a lot of people that are listening kind of remember Jenna from a little bit of Vanderpump Rules, but she's just got this like infectious laugh and she's just so like spunky and funny. And I remember we were going into the wardrobe, like little area. It's like I don't know what they're called. Trailer. Thank you. Because you have to bring like businessy office type outfits. And she showed up and she was wearing like this like really cute, like it was like an overall, but like kind of almost like a jumpsuit. And it was super cute. And she walks in, she goes, "Oh, can I just not wear this?" Like, I don't know. She cracks some joke about her outfit being like what she wanted to wear for the thing, which is obviously like a no. But I just thought I don't know, made me laugh. And I was just like, I want to hang out with this girl today. And then we ended up hanging out. And then after that, we hung out all the time and became roommates. And yeah.
You lived together?
Yeah.
Oh, how long did you guys live together?
We
I didn't
lived
know that.
together for like 2-ish years, I think.
Oh, wow.
2 years maybe. Yeah. And she moved out because she moved in with an old boyfriend. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was like so blast from the past. And every time I'm watching, he's just not that new. I forget that you're in it. And you did some effective background work. You were really compassionate looking. Yeah.
I was like,
you understood.
She's like, he's not even worth it. I'm like, no, he ain't worth it.
Leah, have you seen that movie anytime recently? Have you noticed Katie in it?
No, I haven't.
Now you need to watch it.
Before she's like, you only have to watch the first 5 minutes. But when you know on Netflix, when you go like click on like a title, it'll show like a little like preview.
Mm-hmm.
The one that they were showing it was me. I was like, do I have friends on Netflix?
Yeah,
like, of all the parts in that movie,
some Netflix person was like a Vanderpump fan and was like, we got to get Katie in here.
we got to use this little like section for the preview.
Did you meet any of the big names, or was it that day? Was it who were on that movie?
No, that day was just for like that scene. Crazy. There was a whole day dedicated for that one part.
Well, also the way that God is funny sometimes in terms of like making all these things connect. Last night I was just talking about my one-sided beef with Ginnifer Goodwin. Look, it's so rude. I'm sure she's lovely.
She bugs me.
And I have compassion for that because having been on TV even for 5 seconds, I don't flatter myself, but when people hate you and they do not know you, it's like, what the fuck? But I totally have that with her. And maybe it's just because she's so irritating in that movie, which is the point. But
yeah.
I just beef with her so hard.
No, because also in Something Borrowed, she's pretty intolerable.
The concept of that movie is actually batshit.
I used to love it. And then I like growing up is realizing like this is fucked.
I don't care if you liked this person first. That is one of your best friends and you are just completely fucking like, even if you're, and I hate how they paint Kate Hudson to be the villain in that, you know what I mean? Because it's like giving her the pass to do that. It doesn't matter. What you did is awful.
Yeah. It doesn't matter that she was cheating on him and having like her own like thing. Like, yeah, that was you don't hook up with your best friend and who also happens to be your best friend's fiance.
This might be a litmus test, but I need to ask you something.
What?
This person made a TikTok and was like, it was a trend. So there was some song playing and it was like, me and my best friend don't talk anymore because she was cheating on her fiance and I told him. And the comments, I went to the comment section because I was like, Rolly could do anything in front of me and I would keep her secrets. So maybe there's circumstances, but I was expecting the comments to be like, this isn't the flex you think it is. And everyone was like, good for you. That's a real friend. And I'm like, no. Because guys.
She thinks she's being a real friend because she told her friend's boyfriend or
yeah,
that she was cheating on him?
Yeah. So if I was cheating on my fiance, would you tell my fiance?
No.
No, you wouldn't tell my fiance. That's crazy.
No, I'd be like, first of all, there's just some things you don't get involved in. Like you do not put yourself in those kind of things. And like I feel like that's giving some kind of like weird like hero complex. Like you want to like save the day.
Or do you want to fuck that fiance on the low?
Or and I think that also comes from a place of just like real extreme like jealousy and resentment. Like you want what they have, so like you're gonna sabotage it.
Yeah.
In a weird way. I mean, that friend was already let's face it, like they were sabotaging it on their own by cheating and everything.
Yeah.
But you don't get involved and make it 10 times or I don't know. I would know. I might be like, listen, maybe let's do a little introspection and say like, do you really want to be with this person if you're willing to just throw it all away? And also like, seems like maybe you're curious about what it'd be like to be with other people.
Yeah, I think it's totally fine to have a conversation with your friend and be like, or even if it's upsetting you because like let's say the fiance is a great person, air that with your friend. That is not your place. Again, Raleigh could run me over with her car and I would tell no one. It's just like
you'd be dead.
I would be dead, but I wouldn't come back and like tell someone on a Ouija board. For me, it's like loyalty, and I'm sorry, bros, not all bros, but the way they like look out for each other, like that's girl code to me. I am and will always be, Nick listening to this, like taking notes. I'm like, I will always be loyal to my friends. Sorry, I could love you. I could see you as a buddy, but my friend is who I'm always going to be.
No, and also it's just decorum. It's just, I don't know. It's like you just don't get involved in people's fucking business. Again, it's like your business is only with your friend. And so if you want to take it up with them, cool. The other person, not your business.
Well, the comment section definitely had me like, am I the asshole? Because I was like, Suprisa. I thought they were all going to be like, boo. And they were all like, yes, girl. Yes, queen. I was like,
No one was like, yeah, that was fucked up.
No one. And I was like, is this a prank? Like, am I being conned into this and they're gaslighting
Was there
me?
any more context or just said that?
No, it was just that. And she was like dancing around it. I was like, that's gross. But
how is she being a good friend though? I don't understand.
Because I think she's saying like her friend was doing something immoral and she's like, standing up for her. Maybe
so then don't be friends with somebody like that if that's the case. But like, listen, it's hard because it's just like it's something that you don't morally, ethically, whatever agree with. It's hard to stand by and just be like support them in that. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was giving basement for me. I was like, no, I don't like you. Anyway, do you know who Cassandra Bowman is?
Cassandra Bowman?
It's this guy who's in college that has a completely deep voice and he talks like, hey, this is Cassandra Bowman.
Oh.
And he does these prank calls and it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But if you don't know Cassie B from The Block, please go look that up on TikTok.
Okay.
She's my favorite person. Constantly commenting on his shit, trying to get him to love me. Speaking of, should we do the basement?
You go first this time because I went first for daddy.
I have 3 today.
Oh.
Which, I mean, I'm just not going to do it every week for the next 4 years, but you can all get other what's in my basement for the political climate of the world right now. Everything is awful.
Yeah.
That's that.
Okay.
My basement this is going to now be my second frequent flyer behind Elon Musk. So I'm going to put Ruby Frankie back in the basement. So if you do not remember, Ruby Frankie is the freak that had the 8 Passengers YouTube channel, which was one of the first family vlogging families.
Yeah.
And she was deeply religious and hid behind that and then ended up abusing her children with this other freak that she got into a Jody Hildebrand, also in the basement. She was in some type of cult, basically. So Sherry Frankie, her daughter, wrote a book, which I read. And I was very moved by it. And I think she did it in a really respectful way because she didn't name her youngest siblings because she just didn't want to be participating in it the way her mother had. And it is their story to tell. And they were the ones who were basically chained up in a basement. So she didn't so much get into that as she did her own personal experience and how she watched Ruby laying the groundwork for this to happen. And she turned everyone against Sherry in her family. Like it was this really crazy thing. Oh, also I'm going to put her dad, Kevin Frankie, in the basement too, because he sat idly by watching this happen and was allowing this cult. It's a crazy story. So if you're looking for a new celeb memoir, I would recommend that one. And I just could not imagine treating anyone, particularly your children, the way that she hurt those kids. And my heart goes out to all of them.
Yeah.
So kind of left field from there. Snail mail in general, but ads. Okay. In the year 2025, the planet is dying. Can we just automatically do paperless everything? And then you have to specifically ask if you want bills mailed to you, number 1. Number 2, particularly, I have not used a single advertisement that I've gotten, those books, those things.
The ones that come from like a grocery or something and it's just pages and like it is, for some reason you try to take it out and then there's 90 pages that are this thin, fall everywhere. And I'm like, I don't need a catalog from somewhere that have the app downloaded.
If I want to see what's happening, what the hits are this week at the grocery store, I'll go to the grocery store. I don't know. I'm like, I'm just so sick of it. And
I used to cut coupons for my mom, but those days are.
Yeah, you can do it all online now. And I would say a close second to that. So this is technically a 4th basement, but checking mail. I do it monthly. And so I recently opened a bunch of Christmas cards because I just don't. And so people will send me shit. And I'm like, you guys, I don't check my mail. So anyway, that is a bummer. And then lastly, accidentally making eye contact with the car next to you is like the worst thing ever. And it's always the most awkward deadpan. And like it's happened the other day with, I think Raleigh was driving with me and she looked at the entire car next to me. Like it was like boom, 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 boom. And then it's just so awkward. And then you try to get away from them and you always end up, right next to him. It's so violating.
Well, yeah, it's just like, there's a deep discomfort with that. I don't know. I try not to. I'm like usually in my own world, which is troubling too. Because like if someone were just to be watching me sing, I don't know, pluck hair from my face, it all happens
I got such
in the driver's seat.
I got such a big chin hair this morning. I thought of you. Who's in your basement?
Okay. I feel like this is kind of good on theme for Valentine's Day, especially when you're going to like those dinner dates, because I feel like some places really try to maximize their dining space, but they do it in a way that's just so ick to me that it's just like, don't put a bunch of tiny two tops on, just next, like all piled in a room together.
Why don't we just join them? Why don't we just make one giant 12 top? Because there's so many tiny. Yeah, it's like the Last Supper. So
Nick and I went to. I don't want to put this place on blast. I kind of want to.
Who?
But he had never been. We had ordered from there before, but he had never been. But like, I really wanted to like take him there so he could get the drink that we like, the whole thing. But this one location, it just has the worst fucking service.
Did you?
Ever. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but it's like it starts off really great, and then you'll sit there for 45 minutes and not a soul even comes to check on you. No one
checks on you.
You got empty plates on. Okay, but this is my beef. Going back to the tables. If you are a tapas style restaurant, the fuck you sitting at me at a bistro table for? Which is meant for like, I don't know, a croissant and a cup of coffee. Max, because that's all that fits on it. But they're like, so this is tapas, so it's family style, so you order a bunch and then they bring it. I'm like, where? I ain't gonna eat this out of my lap.
It's a table for ants.
I was like, can we get a human-sized table? I felt like the table was just this like little tiny bar stool. Like I just, even sitting in a chair in front of it, I was like, I feel like I'm just overpowering this whole thing. I was so miffed. I was like, we had our own like little side plates, 2 water glasses, 2 drinks, and a bottle of water. There was like this much room, like maybe an 8 by 8 inch of, for all the food that we're supposed to have at the table. I'm like, you want everyone to have a good experience. So don't punish people because they're like on a date. There's only 2 people that you got to seat them at this like just shockingly, offensively small table.
Whatever the opposite of a ludicrously capacious table is.
Yeah, table for ants. I was like, this reminds me of when I used to use that white thing for the pizza box for my Barbie's tables.
Yeah. God forbid you have share plates, which you do for tapas. They are very guilty of that, which sucks because I love their food. And
I know,
their drink.
And then they have the nerve just to like have the worst service imaginable. Mm-hmm. Like it's shocking to me. I don't know how I don't know if it's just, I feel like I've had better experiences at the other locations in terms of service and regular size tables. But like, yeah, don't try to maximize your dining space and capacity by using just the most inappropriately small tables for what your restaurant actually does. Like, if I'm coming here to have an ice cream cone where I don't need surface space, great. But like, how am I supposed to dinner at this? Like, they may as well sit on the windowsill and just balance it off the edge.
Yeah. What do I look like? Thumbelina? What is this shit?
No kidding. So yeah. Tiny tables for dinner is in the basement. Like get rid of those.
You're so real about that little white table we use for Barbies. Me and my sister used to fight over those.
That's what my dining experience was like. Yeah. And we ordered a pizza too. I was like, if they try to bring that table or bring that pizza out to our table and we still have tables, I'm gonna be like, send it back.
Big mistake. Huge.
I was joking, but also like very irritated by it. And Nick was just like laughing. He's like, this is hilarious.
You're so scary when you're like that. It was like, I can picture that.
He thought it was hilarious. I was like, don't encourage. But thank you for also not being scared. Anyway, that's all for my basement. I mean, also when they give you a 19-hour window and show up within the first 5 minutes for like all of that, like you plan your entire day around this shit basically. And then that's just like crazy behavior. The day before was really great. The rug cleaner showed up early, but I was home, so I was fine for that. But like, anyways, it's useless information. But yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful Valentine's weekend.
And so, even if you're single, please celebrate Valentine's Day, whether it's with you or someone else you love. There is love in your life.
Go get some frosted sugar cookies.
Pay attention to that. Yep. Not to be TMI, but I really have to pee, so we have to end this episode.
Okay.
So,
well,
okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Babe, you're gonna see the power of women. Like, disrespectfully.